I first met Craig Keeland in 1991 when he came to Albion Laboratories. I had recently joined Dr. Ashmead, the founder of Albion Labs, as Albion's nutritional product formulator. Craig had a dream to create an all-natural, mineral and antioxidant-rich drink that would allow us to live in a state of youthfulness. Craig had sought out Dr. Harvey Ashmead, who was well known as the father of patented chelated minerals. Craig had done extensive research seeking out the leading scientists in anti-aging, including Dr. Linus Pauling and Dr. Richard Cutler. Dr. Cutler led the antioxidant studies at the National Institute of Aging. Through his research, Craig had learned that minerals were one of the essential keys to energy and wellness. Because of my own background as a nutritional formulator, Craig was also intent on meeting me. His trip to Albion Labs allowed him to make contact with both Dr. Ashmead and me at the same time. Dr. Ashmead and I felt a strong connection with Craig. We fully understood and embraced Craig's dream of wanting a liquid, whole food product that supports the body's healing mechanisms and boosts energy levels. We were convinced that inflammation preceded or came before many diseases, including cancer, heart disease, diabetes, stroke, and Alzheimer's. By the year 2004, medical researchers began studying inflammation and its connection to disease. Time magazine broke the news in a cover story published in February 2004. Dr. Ashmead shared some vital research with Craig that had been given to him 10 years earlier by Dr. Morton Walker. Dr. Walker was a medical journalist whose career focus had been researching and writing about developments in the field of nutrition. One of the pinnacles of Dr. Walker's career was his in-depth study of the Vilcabambans who lived high in the Andes Mountains of Ecuador. Dr. Walker had read about the Vilcabambans in National Geographic in the January 1973 cover story on people living beyond 100 years of age. Dr. Alexander Leaf of the Harvard Medical School wrote that article after traveling to several remote parts of the world where he studied people who lived beyond 100 years of age. In Vilcabamba, Dr. Leaf found a substantial population to verify the percentage of people over 100 years of age. Other geographical areas that he studied did not have large enough populations to verify a meaningful statistical percentage. Dr. Leaf found 1 in 64 Vilcabambans over 100 years of age. Compare that to 1 in 100,000 in the modern world at that time. He also found that these people lived free from many of the health issues and concerns that are so common in old age. Dr. Walker traveled to Vilcabamba in the early 1980s to study the Vilcabambans for himself. He spent more than 90 days in the region. He theorized that the villagers' drinking water was the secret to their long lifespans and vibrant health. To test his theory, Dr. Walker took hair samples and drinking water samples and had them analyzed by Dr. Gary Gordon at Mineral Lab in Hayward, California. The lab analysis confirmed that the minerals in the villagers' drinking water were being fully absorbed by the villagers because these minerals were present in their hair samples. Dr. Gordon told Dr. Walker that the unique profile of the minerals in the Vilcabambans' drinking water was the perfect balance of minerals to support optimum human health and energy. Dr. Walker wrote his findings in his book, Secrets to a Long and Youthful Life. He had given Dr. Ashmead a copy of the manuscript. When Dr. Ashmead gave a copy of this manuscript to Craig to read, Craig was astounded and vowed to travel to Vilcabamba himself. When Craig traveled to Vilcabamba, he collected a sample of mineral water from the area to have analyzed, which he brought back to Albion Labs. Dr. Ashmead and I analyzed the water and confirmed Dr. Gordon's findings that the Vilcabambans' mineral drinking water contained a unique mineral profile found nowhere else in the world. Craig challenged me to lead the team to create a liquid that contained a full range of minerals and antioxidants that would support optimal health and energy so all of us could have the same level of health and wellness that the Vilcabambans experience. We assembled a team of world-class scientists and researchers in the anti-aging arena to formulate an all-natural, high-antioxidant drink that would allow all of us to live in a state of youthfulness. What I didn't know at the time was that Craig's vision of creating a good-tasting, natural whole food drink would take us 12 years to accomplish. Nobody had successfully created such an energizing and healing support drink before. There were energizing drinks out there, and there were drinks that promote health and wellness, but there was nothing that did both. In 1991, we all accepted that as we get older, the body starts to slow down, and our parts often don't work as well as they once did. Inflammation in our joints and aches and pains seem to be the common thread among all of us as we get older. Most of the time, inflammation is a lifesaver that allows our bodies to fight off disease-causing bacteria and viruses. Today, inflammation has become one of the most promising areas of medical research. Nearly every week, another study uncovers a new way that chronic inflammation harms the body. Chronic inflammation may in fact be the engine that drives many of the most feared illnesses of aging. Craig essentially wanted to slow down the aging process. To make his energizing and healing support drink a reality, we had to overcome some obstacles. We had to develop some analytical methods that would measure what was in the Vilcabomben's food and drinking water that made these people so healthy. We realized that the Vilcabomben mineral water had an ideal balance of minerals that the body needs to produce the enzymes that create energy. That's what gives the Vilcabombens their energy to be so active throughout their lives. We first took that mineral essence, made it into a powder, and put it into a capsule. Later, new technologies allowed us to create the mineral essence in a liquid form, and that is the base of the natural whole food puree Viaviente. Along the way, we also discovered that the Vilcabomben's food source is the source of their longevity and health. The antioxidants in their fruits and roots help their bodies neutralize oxidation and free radical damage to their cells. It's because of the high content of antioxidants in the Vilcabomben's food that we saw none of the age-related health and lifestyle issues that are all too common among older Americans.